Let me tell you a story. It's called Tough Love.
Once upon a time there was a girl called Sunita who dreaded going home after school cause her dad would mistreat her. Her mum was just as bad. When she got mad was more than glad to lend a hand in helping him beat her. Sunita used to wear the cloth of her religion. Sunita used to pray to God for he was listening. But nothing never changed, at least she couldn't see a difference. So the relationship between them both became distant. She didn't agree with the fundamental religious views of her parents. Might as well have been speaking gibberish, to her it was incoherent. She was living in the Western world, couldn't understand why she couldn't be like all the other Western girls. So one day she rebels, walks into a shop and purchases a copy of Bliss, a magazine for female teenagers. Ripped off the plastic wrapper, started flicking through the pages. Tough love, I call it hatred. Tough love, I call it hatred. They call it tough love, I call it hatred. That's your flesh, your blood, that's sacred. Tough love, I call it hatred. Tough love, I call it hatred. They call it tough love, I call it hatred. That's your flesh, your blood, that's sacred. So engrossed in a newfound interest, Sunita fails to realise the time. Before she knows it, it's 8:45. Should have been back from prayer an hour ago. Now her parents are gonna know that she's sky. Then a slim hope that they won't. She hides a copy of Bliss inside the books under a rhyme and makes her way back home. She opens the door to find her mum and dad waiting. The expressions on both their faces are scathing. Before she has time to think of an excuse, her father's hands are wrapped around her neck like a noose. So tight he chokes her. She drops all her books on the floor apart from the Bliss mag which lands on the sofa. Dad can't control his rage when he sees that the center page is a boy band poster. She's possessed by the devil. Her mother shouts, blaming it all on Satan like it's the only explanation. He grabs Sunita by her hair down to the basement. Heart's racing like she knows the life's about to be taken. They look her in the eyes, say here's what we're gonna do. You're possessed by a demon, we're gonna beat him out of you. Sunita cries for help. She sees her mum pick up a broomstick and her dad take off his belt. It's no use, her brothers and sisters won't listen. So undeterred, mum and dad carry out the exorcism. Tough love, I call it hatred. Tough love, I call it hatred. They call it tough love, I call it hatred. That's your flesh, your blood, that's sacred. Tough love, I call it hatred. Tough love, I call it hatred. They call it tough love, I call it hatred. That's your flesh, your blood, that's sacred. For hours they violently torture their daughter, beat her into an inch of her life till it's right on the border. They continue to physically hoard her. By now Sunita has a mental disorder. She no longer cares if she lives or dies. Absolutely no more tears left to cry. Sees the evilness in her parents' eyes and thinks they're the ones who need to be exorcised. That's when a rebellious streak completely intoxicates her. Sudden rush of energy boosts a never seen before aggressive nature. She decides that no matter what, they are never gonna break her. Go to hell! She screams at her dad as he goes to give her another lick with a belt. Go fuck yourself! She screams at her mum, knowing that it's only gonna spur her on. Cause now Sunita's lost the plot. The physical pain ain't nothing compared to the heartache when the heart breaks and it rocks. Once filled with so much love, but now so clogged up with hate that it stops beating. And she stops breathing. Her body's just a carcass, now her soul's leaving. No more pain, no more bleeding. Dying slow, blow by blow from a severe beating. It takes half a dozen more blows to the head before they finally realise that she's dead. That's when the door busts open and in come the feds. The neighbours must have called them when they heard the screams of torment coming from the basement where Sunita's dead body lies on the floor, bladed like roadkill out on the pavement. It's quite clear to the police that she's been the victim of a horrific case of physical mutilation. Tough love, I call it hatred. Tough love, I call it hatred. They call it tough love, I call it hatred. That's your flesh, your blood, that's sacred. Tough love, I call it hatred. Tough love, I call it hatred. They call it tough love, I call it hatred. That's your flesh, your blood, that's sacred. After being apprehended, Sunita's parents are asked why their daughter's life is so brutally ended. They said it was out of love, but only hate breaks something so hard it can never be mended. And to this day they show no remorse. Their idea of parental guidance will always be to use force. And what makes this tale all the more gory is that this song is based on a true story. Tough love. Rest in peace. The fucked up world.